Now it's time to implement the delete action method. It would be very easy because we just need the glue request transfer to get the resource ID, and then we pass the antelope transfer with the ID set, and then the entity manager will take care of deleting the resource. So let's go ahead and let's create the method, and let's return this get factory, create antelope deleter. Then we're going to define the delete method, delete antelope. Then in the factory, we're going to return new antelope deleter, and we're going to pass also the facade, the response builder, and the mapper. Let's create this class antelope deleter, and we're going to place it inside processor deleter, and we're going to implement the delete antelope method. In the delete antelope, we're going to receive the glue request transfer, and we're going to return the glue response transfer. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to call the facade, and we're going to pass antelope transfer. We're going to initialize this value here with new antelope transfer, and we're going to set ID antelope, and the ID antelope would be the glue request transfer, get resource, get ID. After that, we prepare a new antelope collection. So we return the response builder, create antelope response, and as we're deleting a resource, we don't return any resource inside the antelope collection transfer. So we return just an empty antelope collection transfer. All right, this is the delete method. We're not still dealing with error that might occur during the deletion or updating of a record. We're going to tackle this issue later on. From this class antelope deleter, we can generate the interface. So we're going to add here antelope deleter interface, and then you can see that the antelope deleter now implements the antelope interface. Now it's time to create the delete antelope in the facade like we did for the update, and now we're working on the Z layer, antelope folder, business layer. And we do the same thing in this layer. We're going to call return this get factory, create antelope deleter, and then we're going to call delete antelope by passing also the antelope transfer. And then we're going to create the antelope deleter inside the factory, and it's going to return new antelope deleter, and we're going to pass the entity manager. Let's go and implement this deleter. So inside the business layer, we create the class, PHP class, we call it antelope deleter, and we're going to place it inside the deleter folder. And pay attention that the antelope deleter is imported from PYZ antelope business deleter. We pass the antelope entity manager in the constructor so that we have it here available for the delete method. Then we create the delete method by calling the entity manager delete antelope. And here we're going to return bool if the entity was deleted. Let's just create the interface by going to refactor extract interface. And now it's time to work on the antelope entity manager. So let's click add method, or you can go directly to the entity manager and create the delete method. Here we have the delete antelope, and here we can call this get factory, create antelope mapper, and then we map antelope transfer to entity. And here we have to pass an instance of the class new PYZ antelope, and we're going to capture that entity in a variable. Now we have an entity here populated, but we still have to call the delete method to delete the entity. So we call antelope entity delete, and then we just return antelope entity is deleted. Okay, so this is a method that return bool, return true if the antelope was deleted. All right, now the code should be ready. Let's open the HTTP file just to make the delete call. We can still use the ID 44 just to test it. We don't have to pass the payload, so no attribute has to be passed, and the method should be delete. Let's just verify that the controller is okay, And now let's try it out. Okay, let's verify the delete antelope in the antelope facade. We have to import the antelope deleter from antelope. We can type hint here, antelope deleter interface. We should return here the instance. Okay, let's give it a try. And you can see that the response is 204, no content. It means that the entity was deleted, but there was no payload in the body like we set in the response.